Howdy guys, just got back from a neat road trip. I just drove about 3.5 to 4 hours coming back from down south. Drove out yesterday to conduct a gun purchase. I was hoping to make 2 gun purchases. Only was able to manage one of them. If I had made the second one, I would have driven pretty much right up to the border with North Carolina. So I drove out to Roanoke, just headed back to avoid the storm. And I want to do this before the rules changed. You know, we're all getting worried about the new gun legislation coming out. Well, here right now in the great state of Virginia, you can purchase a gun face-to-face, provided you show proof of residency. And everyone I've dealt with also wants proof that you're a good guy. Usually it's a concealed handgun permit. It shows that the local sheriff has checked you out for 45 days or so. Or voter registration card, which means you're not a felon. Felons can't vote. Or maybe if you're law enforcement or military, they want to see that ID along with your proof of residency. And nowadays, a lot of the folks I've bought guns from or dealt with or sold to, we like to have bill of sales going both ways, just, you know, to a bit of CYA. Everyone I've dealt with, though, super nice folks. You know, gun owners are the salt of the earth. I'm taking off my belt because just got home. Long drive. It's my carry head with me. Make sure that's still good. Yeah. This is not the gun I bought. This one is the one I was carrying. It's a Kimber TLE RLE, RL, with the ambidextrous safety, VZ grips, Ed Brown mainspring housing. That's the Pro model, so it's only what I think 4 inches. Although it has a full-size magazine. And I'd actually just got this neat little mag holster for my spare mags. Is made by Galco. Double mag holster. Has little screws here for adjusting the tension on what kind of draw you want out of this thing. So I have a fairly smooth draw. I really like these Galco mag holsters. I have one for my Glock mags, and it has the same fluid, nice grip to it. It's kind of weird to say fluid and grip, but if you ever use one of these, you know, the fluid motion of drawing the mag out, and yet you can still feel that the holster or the holder, people use those terms interchangeably, the grip is still fairly strong on those things. So, oops, receipts, keys, cell phone, wallet. On the drive, cell phone's ringtone, I guess, I don't know. On the drive, I do this thing that I call gun caching. You might have heard of geocaching, where you get a handheld GPS, you go out hiking, and somebody's laid out like markers or directions, and you go looking for a treasure or something like that. Well, when I'm driving to an unknown destination, especially if I'm on the road for a while, I'll type into my car's GPS, my Garmin, I'll type gun or firearm, in the hopes of finding like a neat gun store or a firearm dealer that I might not have ever heard about. Totally failed this time. That GPS, that Garmin took me to like back sticks, you know, way out in the country, places that did not exist anymore. I mean, I was passing burnt out buildings, ramshackle old farms. I was, you know, it was pretty much Sleepy Hollow. Or I don't know if you ever saw that episode of the X-Files that got banned with the you know, just the people that totally removed themselves from civilization. Wasn't too worried. I mean, I did have that. You know, I came up with this term, T.G.I.A. Thank God I'm armed. But I also had this. Now, I was hoping to use this perhaps in terms of as partial barter for the second gun deal, which was hopefully going to have been a Civil War rifle. Didn't happen. The guy, I guess, got cold feet or too busy. It doesn't matter. Now that I've had this with me, I'm kind of glad I'm going to be holding on to this. He wanted cash, but he also wanted AR-type items. And I'm not ready to give up any of my AR stuff, especially with potential things changing here in the People's Republic of Barakistan. So what is this, though? This is a great self-defense rifle. I'm gonna call it that. Self-defense rifle. Because it'll fit in your vehicle with no problems. And yet, has all the capabilities of an AR. This is a Kel-Tec SU-16C, the Charlie model. So, in fact, let's see, I think I have It's my overnight bag from Roanoke. I know you're thinking this thing's gonna be full of Durex, but no, just dirty laundry and my AR mag. I mean, what's the point of selling a gun if you can't even find mags nowadays? And this is a neat little clip. I picked this up in, of all places, California, at some sort of weird like outdoor flea market thing. I think that they were using this for like their airsoft stuff, but it's metal construct. It's really well put together. It stood the test of time, and I wish I'd picked up more of them. And it's adjustable for different size magazines. So actually, if I unbuckle them, you can see though that this Kel-Tec SU-16C allows a mag to be slipped through the folded stock, so you could actually use this as a very short, defensive weapon. Our people will call this the evil black rifle or an assault weapon. None of my guns have ever been used to assault anyone. I've only thought of them purely as defensive measures. And I'm sure most Americans think that way too. SU-16C does have a fold-out stock. It does not really have a pistol grip like an AR-15 would, but it's fairly light. Has a Picatinny rail. The receiver, all polymer. It's kind of strange as the slide lock is at the bottom, right here, the bottom of the back of the mag well. So that is empty. Just do a safety check. If you don't get the C model that has a folding stock, they do have other models, but people actually sell these pull pins. Pull the pin, and now you can actually make this thing even smaller, more compact. I mean, look at that. Isn't that neat? That almost fit in a glove box. Well, maybe not. Another neat feature on these SU-16Cs. First of all, that light isn't standard. You can buy these mountable Picatinny rails and then a little tiny light which might normally mount on the underside of your carry piece. So I drilled out 2 holes, mounted that Picatinny rail. I made the rear hole a little bit bigger so that I had some play to adjust the angle of the light. And it seems to have worked out pretty well. Where is it? Nice bright light, LED light. But on these fore ends, if I do this correctly, which I just did not do, there it is. The fore end folds down. At this point, the light is useless, to make a bipod. Isn't that neat? This, your typical AR is what, like 7 or 8 pounds, and then you throw on gear like bipod and other junk, and you're suddenly hefting, 8 to 10 pounds. This thing maybe, I don't know, 5 or maybe just 5-6 pounds, I'm guessing. A lot lighter. Definitely has more kick. I mean, I've taken this to the range, and some of the gals who've shot this, they complain about getting hamburger shoulder afterwards, which means they're not allowed to shoot anything in .308 then. Alright, just throwing a cheap Barska scope, does the job. What do we got? 1.5 to ×6 magnification. Perfect. Does everything I could ask for of this rifle. But that's not the gun I went out to go buy. What I did buy, it's my little travel bag also. By the way, these bags, fantastic. So many pockets, so many things you can strap onto them. They're on sale at I found this neat site called Unholy Cocktail. I just thought I'd throw some kudos out to them. A lot of that stuff they're made in China, fine. But if I was to buy this bag, excuse me, at my local Army surplus store, or even if the NRA has it, I'd spend probably twice as much. Anyway, here's what I bought. I think I got a great deal. See, my carry bag also has a neat little flashlight here. If you guys ever get a chance, I really like this Life Gear flashlight. It's super light, super durable. The brightness is going to blind you for a second. Boom. I think it's like 700 lumens or something like that. And if you're out camping, you can put it top down, and you have a marker light up there to light the road or something to signal, so folks can signal like so. And I think that this has blinking features. Yeah, there you go. Neat little light. Anyway, what did I buy? what was worth a 3.5 hour drive and also like an overnight stay at a Super 8. Ooh. Well, part of that was also wanting to check out all the Walmarts for ammunition. I hit a bunch of Walmarts between Fairfax and Roanoke, and then I hit a bunch of Walmarts out in Roanoke looking for ammunition. Nothing. Everyone is buying whatever they can. They're holding on to it. I mean, you go to the range and suddenly you don't have to wait at the range anymore because people don't want to shoot anymore because they don't know when they're going to be able to find restocking ammunition. The only stuff you could find at Walmart was like weird calibers and nobody shoots, like a 22-250 or a 25-06. And I'm thinking, who buys this stuff? What kind of gun does this go with? I guess a smart person would actually buy all that ammo, all that weird ammo, and then buy the gun that matches it. But if you're looking for 223 or 5.56, no luck. 22 long rifle, all gone. 9mm, 45 ACP, 308, none of it. So, I don't know. I will still fire this because I do have a fair amount of. I didn't just say that. I have a couple rounds of 38 special or 357 I might be able to spare on this. So that is what this is. It's not a revolver. It is a Derringer, and it's the COP, the COP. That stands for Concealed Off-Duty Protection. And this is a heavy gun. It's kind of neat looking. Supposedly this was featured in a couple movies. One everyone talks about, I guess, is Blade Runner. I heard that TV show Psych, that the lead detective on that, Carlton Laster, he's had one of these at one point on the show. And it's 4 barrels. Isn't that nice? 4 barrels and 357 Magnum, 38 Special. Strangely enough, this was made in Torrance, California, which boggles the mind because I'm thinking about a lot of the guns I have, and a lot of the older neat ones, like that Randall left-handed gun, made in California. And nowadays, I doubt you'll find stuff like that out in California. But once again, this is kind of heavy. If I was to compare these two, this has actually got a mag in it. Right now, it's about even. This might be a little bit heavier. A lot smaller though, look at that. Great for a pocket, but you put this in your pocket, saggy pants. Alright, let's take a look at this thing. Beautiful little gun. I was reading the owner manual in the hotel the other night, and they actually said to fire it single-handedly. Oh, this is neat. I'll show you this in a second. They said, I guess the problem with double-handed is if you go like that. Some people, put their finger, not the trigger finger would here. They put a stabilizing hand on the other side. They might put their finger on the, like on the Glock, might put their stabilizing finger on the outside of the trigger guard. They think you're getting awfully close right here to the barrel, the muzzle of the gun, and you might have some shock ripple or potentially bye-bye fingers, and suddenly you can only pick your nose with your left hand. Better actually make sure it's safe, first of all. So this rear sight is actually the latch to open up to access the 4 barrels. So you pull it back, and that part can lift out. And I actually had some snap caps I brought with me. So, God, if those were real bullets, I'd be in big trouble. Alright. So it's got a nice little smooth function there. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but when you open that up, as it swings out, there is a push bar that will lift the spent ammo casings out, or in this case the snap caps, out so you can remove them. This kind of reminds me of like some of the double-barreled shotguns you might take to the range that don't have the eject feature. They just have like a lift feature so you can pull out your spent shells and put fresh ones in. That's kind of what we have going on here. So I guess you would load it like this. And then this is what's crazy. As I walked in the door, I let my sister take a look at this thing, and she's pulling the trigger. Did that fire yet? And I'm like, nope, you gotta go all the way. That has to be one of the heaviest trigger pulls of any of my guns. That is the safety right here. This thing. The guy I bought it from, he's like, yeah, you could mount this gun into like a sled, lock it in place, and take 4 shots, and you'd still have a spread of 4 feet. But right now, obviously you're buying it for the cool factor. And, like a Derringer pocket gun, this is it's a belly gun. You know, you're gonna use this for self-defense. You got to be right up close to the guy, push it in his belly, and snap that. Good lord, that's heavy. What's going on is, I don't know if you can see it here, there are 4 firing pins, and there's a mechanism inside that rotates, and it will hit each one once at each pull of the trigger. So not all 4 barrels are going off at once. You only fire 1 shot at a time, but the mechanism inside, you know, it moves sequentially to the next barrel in a, I think it's a clockwise rotation. I was still reading this manual. What's kind of neat, I mean, I paid for this a price somewhere between a Glock and this this Kimber, so somewhere in between there. That's what I paid for this. They had their grandfather's original receipt from 1983 when this gun came out, and they purchased it, and it was sold for $207 US. Like that's just neat. How this thing is appreciated in value, or how the U.S. currency is devalued. In our words, buy gun, buy silver, buy gold, and forget that fiat currency for a while. You know, if some of you know, I'm a big Ron Paul fan. I won't show the full name. They actually wrote on here that this was a gift from the grandfather. It was conveyed to the grandson. And I asked if it was all right for him to be selling this, you know, for sentimental reasons. And he said he actually talked with his granddad, and they decided with the whole climate of things, it's time to buy an AR-15. So that's the state of America right now, I guess. But yeah, isn't that nice? Look how, in terms of size comparison, this thing is a lot smaller than even, this is the Pro, right? This is not the full Commander, a full 5 inches. So this is just, I don't know, what would you say? That's about a 2.5, 3-inch barrel. 4 of them though, so 12 inches. A lot smaller, but a lot heavier, a lot chunkier. You know, it's got like, it's got this deco look to it, I guess, and maybe that's from being made out in California. I don't know, but it's got smooth flowing lines. It's got that fashionable COP logo on here, I guess. COP, Concealed Off-Duty Protection. And I can't wait to take it to the range. I mean, as I said, the trigger pull, what a monster. But that was a fun trip. So, I mean, I'd come up with these weird terms as I was going on the trip. You know, T.G.I.A, thank God I'm armed. Gun caching, you know, where you just search for gun stores out there, and Barakistan, which is what I feel like the country's changing into, you know, as we lose parts and morsels of our constitutional rights and our freedoms. You know, right now everybody's scrambling for ARs. There's talk everywhere on the news as it's going. I mean, I was trying to listen to talk radio all the whole trip, and everybody's getting worried about magazine bans or bans on semi-automatics. And I mean, what do you do at this point? So I guess that's why we can't find any ammo, even though I checked out, good lord, maybe 9 Walmarts between yesterday and today. Anyway, at least I can still buy fun little guns like this, and I don't know what they're going to do. What if they limit the amount of bullets gun can take to like 3? What, you know, like our shotgun laws here in Virginia, you only have 3 rounds in your shotgun during hunting season. Well, what if your gun carries 4 rounds? You know, what are they going to do? Maybe I'll have to come up with some sort of wood plug for that. Anyway, take it easy, folks. Ciao.